Good. Welcome to Naked. Hi, Matt. How are you doing?
I'm good. That was a small introduction. Welcome to Naked.
It's not finished.
Okay.
I received some feedback this week, and someone told me what I'm gonna say in the introduction. It's not what she said. It's just that it will be cool. So welcome to Naked, the podcast with Matt and Phil, where we are authentic and have a genuine discussion about different topics, and it can be anything, and we just discuss about life. So if you have missed the last episode, you can go back to it, and we will talk about relationship, or we talk about how you can be your true self or celebrating life, for example. And we are here today for a new episode.
Ooh, that was good. I like it. Yeah.
Complete impro.
Well, that's the essence of Naked.
Totally.
So sorry for not being available yesterday to record. I had some troubles, but today I'm fine. I'm ready.
We're in. I'm pumped for this week.
Yeah.
I was so happy today. Like I was kind of sad that we didn't do it yesterday. I don't know why. Like it's kind of now it makes me sad if we don't do it. And I was pumped today because we received again a lot of feedback on the last podcast, and I'm happy about it. Like it creates conversation with people, and people disagree, people agree, people asking us about some stuff. They loved your last parallel with Miyagi and Daniel San. They loved it, which is nice. Yeah, so I'm pumped. How about you?
Yeah, I really also love the feedback, and I really love it's really weird because before you start doing a project, putting yourself out there. Well, I'm talking for me, but I know it's like that for me. People, you kind of fear the disagreement. You fear the haters. You fear a bit what the reaction is going to be to your content, to what you put out there. And it's really, really funny because I just realized that what I really like to hear is when you send me feedback saying that, and I can read them and they say that they agree and disagree, like in many parts in the episode. They're like, oh yeah, this I'm really into it. I really agree. And then someone says something, me and you, and then, oh, this part I really disagree. And I just, like you say, it sparks discussion. And I really like that. I was not expecting that would be my reaction to that kind of feedback. And it is. And I really like that it's loved and maybe not hated, but disagreement in a lot of things. And not just what it is. That's what we do, me and you. Sometimes we're totally in disagreement with one another. Sometimes we totally align. That's fun. I like it.
Yeah, I like that it creates discussions. Because I'm having discussions on the side. This is what is funny, is that when people start to send me feedback afterwards, it's like, oh yeah, and about that, blah, blah. And I was having like this discussion where it was like 8-minute recording, way and back by WhatsApp, just talking about, family and community and, the way that people are and the way people that are playing a role and everything. It's really interesting that, it creates this thing to be, when we started that, I was like, okay, like we do that for ourselves, and I'm not expecting way too much, but the fact that we're just receiving even 1 or 2 feedback, I'm just so happy. It's like, yay,
yeah, and just all the little milestone. Like I was checking the Instagram, and I was telling Jamie, wow, we're like at 8 or 9 followers to 100. And it may seem so little because everybody's shooting for like, I want 10,000, I want 100,000. But man, like we have 100 followers and we started from nothing. We have feedback from people. They tell us that we spark discussion. We have input in their thinking process of different aspects in their life. I'm really amazed. And you know what? I'm also amazed is that today is our 20th episode, man. We've been, we're
20,
recording the 20th. The
20.
20, man, 20.
That's approximately 20 hours that we speak together on
Probably more, but yeah, 20.
But
And
you count
it's
it like
20
that,
weeks.
oof, you're like, oof.
Yeah, yeah. But it's 20 weeks in a row. I told you at the beginning, the only thing that's important for me is that we keep putting one episode out there every week. And that's non-negotiable. And we've been doing it for 20 episodes. I'm really proud of us. Not because it was like we want to make something big out of it, but just because it was our main goal and we're sticking to it. And I'm super proud of us. That's amazing. And I love having these discussions with you.
I love the fact that you talk about that, about projects and being on a journey and, continuing to do it week after week and seeing the progress and looking back, and seeing the progress of what we do. Because when we are inside it, I remember a discussion we were having 2 weeks ago where we were like, oh, we're overwhelmed, what are we trying to do? What are we trying to achieve? What do we want to achieve? Also at the beginning of the year, we said we should have goals. By the way, we don't have goals because we didn't do them. But it's just this thing about this journey that, you have these ups and downs in doing something. But the thing that we kept is what you said, it's recording once a week. We stick up to that. It's out there. It's on YouTube. It's on all the platforms, all the podcasts. There is like quotes going on Instagram. There's like videos going elsewhere and everything. And just looking at that, I mean, it gives me a chills first. And so, which means I'm excited about that. And the fact that, yeah, I'm proud that we succeeded in like keeping that thing, because it's really hard.
Yeah.
It's really hard.
It is. Well, I remember when I was doing the research just before we start, and I came across this concept of pod fade, and it's like a plague in the podcast community. It's people starting podcasts, and then after a while they're missing new content. They don't know what to talk about more, and they shoot really high at the beginning, and then maybe they skip a week, they skip their schedule, whatever, and then the podcast it goes into a fade and it gets stopped and whatever and forgotten. And I really read that was the main thing to watch out for. And by having no script, it's also tricky. It's at the beginning I was like, can we really do every week a discussion where we have no script at all, and then we just go and we have content every week, and I mean, that doesn't mean we won't have a pod fade later on, but at 20 weeks for me it's a strong foundation. I really like that. And also I wanted to say that, like how like we're always looking for the keys, like we're always looking for the shortcuts. We're always looking for, oh, how can I make this project work like so well and the best? And we're trying to do like so many things. And
yeah, the success right now.
Yeah,
I want it right now.
Exactly. And by doing this podcast, it's a concept I knew in my surface level of my mind, but I'm more and more integrating that. Really, one of the main and most important aspect of when you're doing a project is just keep showing up. Is just keep week after week, day after day, doing the things without like the perseverance. I learned that when I did $1 gift. It was the perseverance that got me to have a finished launch product at some point, because I had to overcome so many hurdles, and I was no special. I had no skills. I was not an entrepreneur at all, and I knew that was the main thing that got me there was perseverance. And I just see it again in the podcast. And when I was so happy telling you, look at the Spotify result, man. We just write naked, and I just 3 or 4 weeks ago I wrote naked only on Spotify search, and then we were like, I don't know, like somewhere in the 80s, like there was 80 podcasts in front of us. And then the week after I look and we're like 63. And the week after I look and we're in the top 50. We didn't do anything else than just putting another podcast out there every week. And we're going up in the result. So that how do you say that trend of always looking for like the shortcuts or it's not how it works. I see it in front of my eyes. It's going up and up and up, and it's a marathon. If you see it as a marathon, it's like I could taste right now that we are experiencing success, and it's just going to grow. And I also believe that's like a parabolic curve, and the beginning can be so long. You're so close to the line, and nothing seems to change. And at some point, it's like pop, and it just go up and up and up super fast. So let's see. I'm curious to see what's gonna happen, but it's important to celebrate. If you haven't listened to the episode, go back to Celebrating Life. That's one of our best, but it's important to celebrate, even if it's just the 20th. We celebrated the 10th and now the 20th. That's so nice. Episode X.
The episode X. It was about Christmas, I think. But yeah, I just want to come back on this thing about projects, and building resilience, and not just about projects, not just about that, it's also, I think when I discovered it, I think it was, there was 2 things where I discovered it, and it was approximately at the same time. It was at the gym first, before discovering it in business. I discovered it also in business, but first it was at the gym. Second, it was in ninjutsu, and it was when I was in Quebec, so in martial arts. So we go back to Miyagi and Daniel-san, but it's kind of a thing. Is that, in the gym, when you arrive, you want to do the movements, and you want to take heavy weight and all that. And I wanted to do that because obviously, there is testosterone inside that. There is only guys. You see the other guy doing it. You're like, hey, he's approximately the same size as me. Why I can't do that? That's basic. It's like super basic. It's not even, I was like that. And you understand, by going through the grind of going through, this repetitive movement where you take it slowly, that suddenly you look at everything differently, and you're capable to do way more stuff. And you understand that, your body is telling you, I'm capable to do more now, because you understand my body remembers, and now I can lift more. I can do this other movement that I was not capable to do. I can do this other one that I was not capable to do. And I think this journey is really cool. And in ninjutsu, it was exactly the same thing. When you arrive here, it tells you, okay, this is the kata. There is 5 kata from the beginning, the foundation. And he said, like, there was this guy that became a master, that the only thing that he did for a year was those katas. He learned also the other techniques, but the thing that he did was these 5 katas, because they're the base of everything. And he did that again and again. And it works on everything. It works on your legs. It works on your movement. It works on, your fluidity. It works on everything. And it's really that. It's like, are you capable to go through the grind, even if it's annoying, and continuing and showing up, as you said, every week, and wait until it happens? That's a big question.
Yeah, totally.
Because as you said, people are looking for this magical recipe where it's like, oh yeah, but I want to be good at guitar, or I want to be good at singing, or I want to be good at, and they didn't go through the things that you go, even when you go as a kid, before doing an equation in math that is like in physics, you have to learn the basic math. If you don't learn how to do an addition, how are you going to do like something with things that are like I don't know, a ghost pivot or whatever it's called.
Yeah, yeah. You were talking, and I was thinking about this quote that was related to to a bit of martial art, and I can't remember where I heard that, but the guy, it was a master, and he says, "I don't fear the man who knows 1,000 different punch. I fear the man who has practiced 1,000 times one punch."
Was it not Bruce Lee that
And
said
I don't know, man. I don't remember where I heard that.
that? That sounds like,
but
so maybe it's not him, but that sounds like Bruce Lee.
that would be a good Bruce Lee quote. But yeah, so it all goes down to the basic. And I was also thinking about how we don't think about leveraging the powerful machine that we are, the subconscious and our body. So powerful. And when we want to achieve something, we want to achieve it consciously. We want to think of all the solution by our conscious, by ourselves, and like, okay, I'm going to do that. But I believe that it's the other way around. Your conscious is just 1% of all your processing power, or all just your brain power. So instead of like trying to take the 1% and how, like, the image I see is like the small little guy who has the rope and try to pull the big machine that's behind, and like try to go on their own with that, instead of just standing behind and taking the whip and just say like, come on, like that's where we're going, and just utilizing and just leveraging the big fucking power of your brain. And that's what happened when you do repetitive things. It's like you dictate to your brain, to your subconscious, which control all of your body. Also, you dictate to him, that's how we want to do. That's how we want to do. That's how we want to do. And seriously, your subconscious is, I don't know how to say that in English. We say in French, une tête dure, une esti de tête dure. It's like a fucking hard head. He has to repeat so many times so that it fucking enter in the brain, and then at some point it's like, okay, I got it. That's where we're going, and now you don't have to do anything. He's gonna pull. He's gonna start to run, and you're gonna feel good when you go to the gym every day, and he's gonna take care of building the muscle you need and the endurance. Like the 1% of your brain, of your conscious, if you focus on leveraging the power, that's where the difference comes in. And now with the podcast, it's about the same thing. We forced ourselves to have a 1 week meeting to record every week, and it's non-negotiable. Even if your brain or your subconscious like, oh, I don't feel like it today, whatever, it's like, fuck, shut up, man. We're doing it, and we're gonna do it every week until we don't even think about doing it, and we arrive in front of the computer, everything is set up, and we just talk and we do our thing, because the brain is like, oh yeah, okay, you're recording the podcast today, and it puts us in our best setup to do it.
Yeah. And I was thinking, like, it's funny because when you were talking, I wanted to ask you, like, how many projects or how many stuff you have stopped, you know? Because I wanted like to be like, okay, let's be open, like, because we're entrepreneurs. We are entrepreneurs. We start things and everything. So it's like how many projects or how many stuff you have stopped?
Oh man. If you
have one or two examples
that question, I can tell you, there's different type of people, okay? And I am one of those people who is a creator. And I'm really good at starting thing and at creating thing, but I'm not a closer. And for me, closing is the hard part. For me, going the distance on one thing is fucking hard for me. It doesn't mean I should not do it at all. And it doesn't mean, it's just that's not my strength. So if I'm in a project, I need to partner with a finisher, with someone that is more technical, because I'm more conceptual. And that's why together I fucking love being with you, because that's where the match is. Sometimes I go into my ideas, and after a while you're like, okay, dude, like what's the list of things we have to do? What's the pointers? Like everything, it's really go back to the technicals, and like you get lost in the fucking concept. But me, I get lost in the technicals. That's what is really crazy when you think about it. But yeah, to come back to your question, I've started so many things, man. Just books. Let's just take books. I'm the guy who has 20 books, and
I'll read it.
Three quarter of them are somewhere in the middle. They're not finished at all. Like, I just love starting a new book, and I don't finish the one before. It's not all of them. Sometimes I finish them. Sometimes I force myself to finish them also. And sometimes I'm so into something that I just finish it because I'm driven to finish it, drive, whatever. But yeah, the projects, if I'm a creator, I'm a starter, and I've done, it's funny because I've done some psychometric tests and things like that. And I did one that really slapped me in the face at one point, because the result was that you're a total underachiever. And yeah,
Ouch.
I got a real slap in the face. But at the same time, it was saying, if you focus on your strength and you partner with someone that is an achiever and is not really a good starter, that's like the best setup you can have. And I'm all about building on strength instead of trying to fix your weakness and fix the rest. That's my philosophy. I don't know if you know about the Clifton strength.
No.
It's Dan Clifton.
His name tell me something, but
yeah. Well, I did this test at one point, and this guy basically he divided the I don't know if it's like the psyche or something into 36 strength, 36 like strength or topic that you can be, and you're graded on 1 to 36 from your highest strength to like your lowest strength. And the whole philosophy behind is to know which are your best strength and to focus on building so much on these that all your weaknesses become irrelevant. And you partner with people that when you want to do a project or something, you partner with people that have the strength that you need that you don't have. And I really like that. And when I did this test, the result that I got were so mind blowing. I would have never thought that these were my strength. It was really, really special.
Is it like the Myers-Briggs? You know, thing like ENGP, whatever.
No, it's not. I know what,
but
the
it's,
one
it's
you're
similar,
talking about.
right?
Well, I don't know really a lot the Myers-Briggs that you said. I never did that test, but it's called the Clifton Strengths. It's the Gallup Foundation, something like that. I'll pull the link. But yeah, my first and main strength. Okay, think of like what's your best strength in life, and I could have never ever found that out. I could have never found that out before I did that test. My first and most powerful strength is to be a futuristic. I was like, what the fuck is that?
Interesting. Interesting.
Really interesting. I was like, what? What the fuck is that strength? And then I read about the futuristic people, and it was so me.
Well, yeah, but it was like, it's because you have to explain. What does that mean?
Yeah. I was like, what the fuck is that? Well, quickly, what it means is that it's how my brain functions. I'm always looking a step forward when I think about things. Not like I'm not a chess player at all. I'm not good at chess. I'm not like taking something and trying to see 5 steps forward. It's more in the field of evolution. It's like I have such an evolutionary mind that when I think about something, it's always projected to the future. And I'm really good at creating new ideas from old concept. Like that's basically what it is. I can see the future. I can see how things are going to be. Like a bit like Wayne Gretzky, the quote from him is like, he was asked, how do you do to always be at the right place where the puck is? And he says, I don't aim where the puck is. I aim where the puck is going to be. And that's exactly what it is. I don't see things as they are right now. I see things as how they could be. When I look at someone, I don't see who they are right now. I see their potential to be. That's always been a bit of a problem with me also, because sometimes I see too much the potential in someone, and I don't see that.
Yeah,
right
and you're
now.
acting on it when the people are not there.
Yes, exactly.
I can understand that.
Yeah.
But wait, just a small thing, just for the laugh. There is only a Canadian guy that can put a quote of a hockey player.
And I'm such not a hockey fan, but
Wayne Gretzky, tell who it is, because it's we're talking to people in Spain. They don't know about that. Like, we are not Canadian.
Oh,
right?
that's true. Yeah, I sometimes forget about that. Wayne Gretzky is one of the greatest hockey player that has lived in the NHL, besides Maurice Richard and those great Mario Lemieux and all these. But yeah, Wayne Gretzky was Maurice Richard, the Rocket, baby.
How we came into that, I don't know. But yeah, it's funny what you said. So second laugh also, like this all Myers break, I saw some people putting that on dating app. So they were putting their profile on dating apps. Yeah, not kidding. They were saying, "Oh yeah, I'm an extrovert to NTG, whatever." Like, and
yes.
And I was like, "What are you doing?" Anyway.
Well, you know what? It's funny, but I believe that's a good thing to do, because you're not messing around. If you see someone that is totally the one that you don't fit with, you just pass on right now, because it's not gonna work.
Nope. But it's like
the funniest is people that write their horoscope.
Oh yeah, we were.
What? Sorry.
So I think there was a lag, but we were exactly saying the same thing at the same time. And we were saying exactly like I was like, yeah, because there is also the star sign, and you were like the horoscope. I was like, okay, that's funny.
Yeah, that's really fucking funny. So I was born on the 8th moon of Saturn, and I'm looking for a Gemini ascendant Capricorn on Tinder.
But the house is on what? Supposedly I'm a 12th house on Leo also, so I have psychic powers. Someone told me that. I don't know why, but supposedly it's cool.
You have psychic power? Man, you got to do that on the show.
I know.
We want proof.
But the thing you were saying, it's like, because when I remember my projects and everything, it's like, I'm like you, like I love this part of creating. I love that part because it's also the one that requires more of a brain and everything, and doing the hard work, the grinding and everything, it's a bit harder. And I know sometimes I have these moments, and it's funny because it feels like Limitless. Do you remember Limitless? Do you remember that movie where the guy is like a complete slob, and then he takes a pill, and the first thing that he does is cleaning his room. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
He cleans his room, and then he start working on his book. He finishes his book, and then blah blah blah. And I'm kind of the same thing, It's like sometimes I go in this thing where I start a project and all that, and suddenly like all my life becomes like it starts to be a mess. And I wake up one morning and I'm like, no, it's over. And I start cleaning, and I start cleaning everything. And once I've cleaned, I can start back. It's almost like doing the same thing. And my last project was on the cooking app, and it's funny because it's almost like I know that this project is I have already the mindset that it's going to fail in a certain way. And I'm not necessarily pushing it. But thing I've noticed, and it's because I start to know myself, is that I can't build a project alone. I can't do it. Except if it's running, or it's the gym or that kind of stuff. I can do that alone because it's not really a project. But if it's something like the podcast, if I've done, I wanted to do a podcast for a long time. If it was not with you, and I think it's this question of accountability that I have, I'm accountable to show up because of you, or due to you.
Same thing for me.
Say that in the same way. In a I don't know. Because it sounds like negative, but it's a positive thing. It's like I'm showing up for you. I'm showing up because you're there for me, and it's like a contract, an agreement that we have without saying it. And it's like I'm getting out the video because of the same thing, and I'm putting on Instagram because of the same thing. And so it pushed me personally to have this thing where it's towards myself. But on other stuff, for example, food towards myself, I know I should eat better sometimes, and sometimes I just let it go. Then I wake up 2 weeks later and I'm like, what happened in the last 2 weeks? Like, seriously, man. What happened in the last 2 weeks? What did you do? And it's like, okay, I'm going back to eating well, fish and, proteins and plants. And I start to be, but it's kind of this tendency to be like lazy. I don't know if it's laziness. That's maybe a weird thing. I don't know.
It's because we are community creature, and we forget so much about that. We idolize the solo entrepreneur. When we get someone that has success, we always see like that one guy like Elon Musk and like Jeff Bezos, and we see like Gary Vaynerchuk, and all these like solo guys that are just the face of what's going on, and you don't see what's going on behind. These guys would never be where they are if it was not of the fucking huge team that's behind them, and that just lifted them, and they accept that he was the face and they were the team behind, and like that's so different. It's people want to do, I'm gonna do my project alone and I'm gonna grind and grind and grind. That's not what it is at all.
All of them.
I have my own experience of that. When I was alone and I was trying to do $1 gift, the only thing I wanted, the only thing that my first aim, I didn't give a shit about the money. I knew I needed so much money to do what I wanted to do, but I knew that it was not my first goal. My goal was to get a technical partner. I wanted to have a developer to do that with me, because I didn't want to do it alone, and for some reason I understood that I could not do it alone, and I needed a partner. And that's why it took me like 5 years, and nothing happened, because I was looking for a partner and I could not find it. Mm-hmm. And yes, finally I was so in despair that I signed the pact with the devil, but still he was a partner, and still the product launched because of that, because that's so crazy. And people sometimes they ask me like, how did you raise your money when you started project? Man, look at me. I was such a noob. I knew nothing about entrepreneurship, but I'm a magician, and I knew that. And I knew for me that finding money was easy. It was just my mindset. And then I was like, okay, now I have a partner. It just told me I need to find $100,000 to do that website, which was like over fucking price, but it's not the point. And then I went, okay. And in 6 months, that money came to me. And seriously, it didn't come from the place I was looking for. I was just looking and putting those energy out there, and then poof, like that money came to me from random people. And then I was able to raise that money. And so all of that to say, to come back to, yes, we think that we want to go alone somewhere, but that's not how we are. That's not, in our veins, in who we are, in our DNA, we are connected to each other. We are community people, a community, like a race of community animals. And I did this test one time. It's funny because some people don't like at all the psychometric tests or things like that. But for me, I did many different ones. And for me, it just helped me know myself better. And I did this one at one time. And I was so surprised because it was a measure, it was a scale, and it was like, either you're on this side or you're on this side. Okay. And it was what drives you as an entrepreneur. Okay. And one side was result, and the other side was the team. And I was all the way to the team side, like 100%. So for me, I don't give a shit about the result. It doesn't give me fire. It doesn't gives me drive at all. What drives me is to know that I'm working for the team, that I take care of the team, that we grow together as a team in this project, and is to see the team grow in success, in happiness, in professionality, whatever. That's what drives me. And I'm so not good to do things for myself, but I'm so good to do things for a friend or someone I love. I'm driven by that. That's who I am. That's how I work. That's how my brain works for some reason. It has its ups and downs, I can tell you that. but it's just to come back to know yourself. The more you know yourself, the quicker and the better you can leverage what you are and your strength to do what you want to do, and to partner with people that are complementary. Maybe that's the right way to say to you.
But this is why I love you, man. It's because you're like that. It's because you're like that in everything. It's not just in business. It's also how you deal with your life. You know, it's going somewhere with people, whether they're coming along or not. That's another question. I remember in my projects, my best projects that I can talk to you about, it's because I did that with friends and we had so much fun. Can tell you, like, you know, I think you know the one about that was called Linen Barn, which we sold to international students linen package. It was with a friend, Kevin. Just amazing, this one, because, you know, like, you go by all the rules, right? People are like, yeah, you spend some time thinking about the brand, thinking about the website, building the product and everything. And with Kev, it was like in 2 hours, we did the website. We found the name, because I remember this discussion about the name. That tells you approximately how fucked up we are in the way we were thinking about it, because it was like, okay, so everybody's called Linen something. We were in Quebec, and the best one was called Linen Chest. So it was like, okay, Linen something. And then Kevin is called Granger. Granger in French is grange. A grange in English is a barn. So I was like, yeah, let's call it Linen Barn. and basically we went through that project where it was like, you know, and we made money out of it, and it was fun. It was like I remember stuff like, we were one time with a car of my ex, and we went to Target to get the stuff, and we packed the car so much. Like, there was so much up. There is a picture where you see the car, it's completely full. You shouldn't be able to drive like that. You shouldn't be able to drive like that. But anyway, we drove. And we did, like, you know, deliveries at 1 a.m. and we got cookies back and that kind of stuff, you know. And you think about those things and you're like, this is what makes me understood both, what I like about being in a project. You know, I like the challenge. I like the journey. I like, you know, like the discussion that we have on the podcast. I mean, about the podcast, I like the discussion also on the podcast, but what I mean is thinking what we want to do with it. You know, it's thinking about, you know, what we want to build together. It's really what drives me in a project. And I think the key is really what you said. Like, I was listening to you, and, you know, it's really that, like, knowing yourself, knowing your strength, knowing your weakness, knowing what you're good at, knowing what you're not good at. Because I see so many people trying to do like so many stuff. Like, if your stuff is not running, why do you run? Oh yeah, but it's good for me. Who gives a fuck? You know, like it's really something that you will not enjoy, whether you're running 100 kilometers, 200. The only thing you're gonna do is, and for stuff like running and things like that, is hurt yourself. You know, this is what you're gonna do. If you do a business that is not what you're supposed to do because you don't like the idea, you're gonna lose money, and maybe a lot of money and a lot of time. And time is precious. If you go to a relationship with someone building a project which is a family, tada. And you don't like the image of family with that person, or you don't agree in certain stuff, the only thing you're gonna have, best case scenario is a heartbreak. Worst case scenario, it's kids that look like them.
Yeah, man. I was thinking we were talking about Bruce Lee. Do you know what was his martial art, Bruce Lee?
Yeah, the Jeet King, the Jeet Kung Fu, the Jeet whatever.
That's the name. Okay, the Jeet Ha.
It's a sort of kung fu. It's a sort of kung fu, and yeah, he built his own.
Let's call it the Jeet Ha for now. So my point was, if you're not doing something that you have fun doing and that you're a bit naturally good at doing, you will never have the success that you plan to have or that you want to have. Do you really think that Bruce Lee, Bruce Lee was who he was, okay? So do you think that he became the master of Jeet Ha because he didn't like it at all, and he worked his fucking ass every day for years and years and years to become the master of Jeet Ha? Well, he didn't like it, or he was not good at it? Not at all. You don't know if he tried karate, if he tried kung fu, and if he tried all these things, and he was not that good at that. Probably. So yeah, but I mean, the point is, he became who he was because at some point he got in touch with that type of kung fu, of martial art, and it just clicked. And
it's his own.
The fun. Well, whatever. It's
created one.
Better.
Imagine
he created it. Like, that's even better. Like he said, I don't like all these. I would not become a master in all these. But if I create that, that's exactly who I am. That's I have fun doing it. I think it's the best. I'm good at it. I'm gonna just fucking leverage that and go in that route and focus on my strength and on my fun and everything and go there. And that's what's working. That's what works. So that's exactly what you were saying. If you want to have success into something, it has to, at its core. Why do you think I love so much the be yourself and have fun? Because it's the fucking core of everything, of your life. If the project you want to do doesn't make you feel like you are yourself and that you are having fun doing it, throw it away, man. Trash that. You're not doing the right thing. Period. Don't force yourself doing something else. If you don't feel that clicks with exactly who you are and that you have so much fun doing it, you will never have the success that you want to have. You're not doing the right thing. You got to go back to the drawing board and know yourself to be able to be yourself. You have to know yourself and then have fun, man. Life is about fun. You have to have fun. Why do you think we love this podcast so much? Because we have so much fun. I mean, I called you one day. I said, hey, do you want to record a podcast tomorrow? It's like, yeah. And we started, we had fun, and we continue. That's the only thing that drives us, really, is because we have fun. We like each other. We like talking, having this discussion. I have fun. It's like my highlight of my week is having this discussion with you. So everything becomes easy.
Yeah.
And it's easier to have fun if things are easy, if you are driven inside of you to do them. So that come back to the same fucking philosophy. You have to be yourself and to have fun in everything that you do, especially the project that you start, especially what you want to do. Because yes, sometimes you're going to dream about something and you think that's what you have to do. Mm-hmm. But sometimes it's the society or the ideas, or it's almost like a virus in your brain making you think that's what you have to do.
Yep.
But that may not be really what you want to do. If you focus on knowing yourself really, really, really good, better, you know when it clicks. You just know it. And that's the real focus.
Yeah, it's the hardest choice. It's the harder choice. And for me, it's even more than just easy. You remember what I said to you when I said, like, look, this is, when we had this discussion and I said, this is the project that I have to do. And you said to me, yeah, but, naked is at the end. And I told you, and it's true. What happened is that I was writing down my projects. And then I looked at it and I was like, oh yeah, but there is naked. Because it's like for me, it was such a part of my life right now. But for me, it's not a project anymore. It's like part of my life. So it's not even easy. It's like, yeah, I know that Monday night or Tuesday night, we are having a recording. I know that on Friday it comes out. I know that I have to do like some posts and everything. It's just part of it. And what you were just saying, like, gave me chills and everything about what should be a project and that you should throw it out, and the fact that life has to be fun. For me, like, I wrote that on my Instagram, that life is a game. If it's not a game, what it is. So yeah, I'm happy with that, man.
Wow, I really like this discussion.
You want to conclude?
Yeah. Well, I think I pre-conclude in my last statement.
With a conclusion of the episode, if you like us, blah blah blah.
Yeah. You're so much better. Well, we just talked about what were our strengths and our weaknesses, and you're so much better at doing that kind of thing. But I can do it. That's funny. Yeah. So it was another talk with Phil and Matt. The first thing I want to say is I really, really, really appreciate the feedback that we get. We're getting more and more of them, and thanks to all of you. We call you heroes because that's what we want to call you. That's what we like. We think that being naked in your life makes you a hero, and you should be the hero of your life. That's it. So we call you heroes, and the more feedback we get, the more heroes we realize there is out there, and that's just amazing. So just if you like it, just share it around, pass the word, share the links, and continue to give us feedback. That's amazing. We just love it. If you have questions about what we say, whatever, just reach out. We're easygoing, easy to reach out. Don't hesitate. And we have 20. It's our 20th episode. So if you're just new to the podcast, you have 19 before that you can go and look. There's a couple gem in these that we really like, celebrating life. Phil really like the Merry Christmas one. So yeah, there's a ton of content you can check and give us your thought. And lastly, for sure, we always say on the show, it's super, super important to remember to be yourself and to have fun, because that's the only real thing that's important in life. And that's how you're going to be happy and have a great life.
That's perfect.
So thanks again, my friend, for that amazing discussion.
As always. See you next week.
See you next week.